nice sandwich, but I mean that looks like it's had. It must be vegetarian because it's supposed to have meat in it, but there's nothing. No, there must be something else. There's nothing in here. I'm going to end up starving. I'm not dropping a dress size if I don't eat soon. I can't eat one of them. No matter how much I try, I cannot eat one of them. It's going to have to be them. Be alright, I'll have a vape as well, it's fine. Hello everybody and welcome to this week's episode of Your Manchester with me, Ms. Belinda Scandal. Today we have left the studio and we are here at the Waterside Arts here in Sale, and what an exciting time we've got for you today. We're going to be talking about a play that's coming here during Trafford Pride, and that is going to be called BI-TOPIA. If that's not enough, everybody, we're off to a lovely restaurant and we're going to be talking all things about the closing party. I know nothing about it. Closing party, so much more going on. This is how your show's looking. Well, believe it or not, something special is coming your way for Your Manchester. We might have done something a little bit, maybe not quite as simple as what we should have done, but nevertheless, we've done it. Here's a little preview. There's something very special coming to Sale and indeed Pride in Trafford. And to talk about it more are these two gorgeous people. Introduce yourself, please.
So I'm Michael from Mano Bocca Restaurant, and we're based on the Waterside Arts Centre.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely, really good venue.
What
really
types of things do you do in here then?
So it's an Italian restaurant, predominantly pizza, pasta, lots of cocktails, Aperol, Peroni, lots of alcohol.
Lots of alcohol.
Well, we generally give people a good time.
Well, lovely. And then you may remember from last week's episode, we had our Darren over here. Now, Darren, what is it you do?
Two jobs. So I produce Pride in Trafford, and I also manage Waterside just upstairs as well.
Now, you mentioned Pride in Trafford. Now, this is a very special event for round here, isn't it? Why is it so special for round here?
It's a little bit different than other Pride events. It's kind of not that traditional format, and we run for 4 days. Young people and children are really at the heart of what we do as well. So
it's definitely an event for the entire family then?
It is. It's primarily is actually for the Saturday, which is our kind of closing day. We've got loads of great stuff. We've got outdoor theatre, outdoor performance. We've got a mini Pride, story times, loads of craft activities. We've got immersive shows that are going to happen. A mobile disco that's going to be going around Sale as well. So yeah, loads of stuff for kids to get involved.
So is it just around this area that it happens then?
Yeah, the most part. We've got some performances upstairs in the theatre, but the majority of activities sort of in and around the plaza and the library and Manor of Bocca as well.
If walls could talk, they could tell you everything. But they can't. Walls can't talk, that'd be ridiculous.
Food and drink wise and dessert wise, we've got a gelato cart, sliced pizza for everyone to enjoy. And then really our job is supporting Darren during the Pride on the Plaza activity, and it's a really lovely day. It's all about families, and I think that's one of the most important messages, is to get Pride across to the families within the community.
So when did you first start here then? When did you first start doing the Pride in Trafford?
This is our 5th year.
Right.
So one of those was digital, as we expect. But yeah, we've kind of grown over the years and sort of added these really lovely elements to the festival. So Michael very kindly supported the Pride on the Plaza last year, so that was the first time we'd done that. And that's probably a little bit more traditional Pride festival, kind of all come together.
Now, on the last day of Pride, you're doing something rather special here, aren't you?
We are, involving you.
Oh, yes. That'll be me, everybody. What is it you're doing?
So we're doing a cabaret evening, it's kind of the closing party of Pride in Trafford. So it's going to be a sit-down 3-course meal, Prosecco on arrival, cabaret from your good self, and some friends.
And some friends, yes.
And then finish off with the Pride Disco. So with actually a couple of local DJs who actually play vinyl, if you remember what that is.
Vinyl's fashionable again now, isn't it?
It is. So they're going to do 80s and 90s disco tunes. And it should be a really good night.
So they'll come here, they'll enjoy the cabaret, they'll be able to have food. Is it a pricey event?
I wouldn't say so.
No, I wouldn't either.
£55 a head. £5 of that goes to the LGBT Foundation, which is great, and we're going to fundraise on the night for that organisation.
Yeah.
So you're getting a 3-course meal and all the entertainment, and it's going all the way through till midnight. So I think it's a
for £55,
worthwhile
that's
event.
Quite amazing, isn't it?
Yeah,
really?
I hope.
I
think so.
What about Pride in Trafford itself? All the events that are going on outside and everything. Is that a paid? Do you have to pay for that?
No, that's all free. About sort of 50-60% of events are all free as part of this Pride. So all of the performances, the mini Pride, lots of activity happening outside is all free for families just to pop down and enjoy.
They're getting more and more important, these smaller Pride events, aren't they?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think, it's an important message to get across in terms of inclusivity, but you'd like to think families want their kids to grow up being accepting of everyone and everything. And I think you see little kids here and they love it, and they don't think anything other than they're having a good time. So I think it's just creating some sort of environment where it's all okay.
So when is it on, and where can people find information and tickets?
All the information's on prideintrafford.org, and we run from Wednesday the 17th to Saturday the 20th of May.
Well, make sure you check out that very website. We're going to run it underneath now for you. Everybody, go and get all the information that you need, but make sure you're here, most importantly for us, on that fabulous Saturday evening. Please, thanks very much. It's a very windy day, but a nice sunny day here. Maybe we should go back to Manchester. Let's see where Ollie's been this week.
Manchester. I'm here today to show you around 2 different locations within the city that you might not have even heard of, or that you might not know too much about. Chinatown, first established over 100 years ago. It might be just a little more than a mile in width, but it's packed with great restaurants, cultural artefacts and some surprising hidden histories. Manchester's Chinatown is the 2nd largest in the entire UK and the 3rd biggest in Europe. Now with over 100 different places to choose from, visitors are spoiled. Oh, well, I've just been resurrected in the middle of this private car park in Chinatown holding a bubble tea. Now this is the drink that's been taking the world by storm, and Chinatown is home to many places like Chow Time, which is where this is from. Let's go and have a look at a few of them. ICFT. I come from Taiwan, very fitting because these drinks come from Taiwan. Not sure why I'm still pretending that I'm drinking this tea. It's finished because we're on about the 5th take now. Ohio Tea, Chow Time, right next to each other. Friendly rivals. My ravenous self just broke a hole into the middle of my bubble tea, but that's all right because I'm here at the 4th and final bubble tea shop within Manchester's Chinatown. And what a happy lemon I will be after having a bubble tea from there, because I'm seeing some new arrivals here. Great tea with salted cheese, mixed berries with salted cheese, and mango and passion fruit tea with salted cheese. Don't know what it is about salted cheese. Not a big cheese fan myself, to be honest. But first, I've got to go and try out some of the other offerings within Chinatown. Oh, the beauties of Chinatown, am I right? I mean, New Moon traditional Thai massages. The beauty spot if you want to get all glammed up. Long legs, I wonder if they can extend my legs in there. and Fet's Pailin, a traditional Thai restaurant. I mean, even though it's Chinatown, you've got a lot of cultures all living together here in this beautiful little spot in Chinatown. I've spoken today so much about some of the food and drink offerings, but what I've not spoken as much about is the abundance of architecture which is visible around here. And this, the Pai Fong Archway, was an official gift from Beijing, and it is actually one of a kind, the only one in Europe. Chinatown is also dominated by an abundance of Asian supermarkets, and here Wing Fa is the smallest of them all. Now this is home to groceries, medicines, and lots of different food, and even fish, which is native to China. Hangwon Hong is another one of the favourites amongst locals here, as it is home to a variety of subsections from other East Asian locations such as Korea and Japan. As for Wusang, here you'll find the absolutely iconic fortune cookies for only 99p, and not to mention a one-of-its-kind restaurant in the northwest, Hunan. And with that, I'm going to mic drop out of here. My time in Chinatown is over as we move to the next location. St Anne's Square, once known as Acresfield, the earliest record of this land comprised of 4 large Lancashire acres, initially serving the farming communities of Lancashire and Cheshire as a market for the sale of cattle, sheep, pigs and horses. In 1708, Parliament granted that St Anne's Church might be built, and this also stipulated a space 30 yards wide, which soon became St Anne's Square. The buildings around St Anne's Square and King Street developed into one of the most fashionable shopping districts within Manchester, and I mean, looking down this street you can really see that. King Street, which is where we are now, this was the first street throughout the whole city to be given to only pedestrian usage. Got to have a bit of money to shop around here. I'm walking through the old Exchange building, and I mean, I can't deal with it, I'll be honest with you. I feel like I feel drunk. I've got an exciting secret that I found out only a few months ago, way back in December, when me and Belinda gave you the tour of the Christmas markets. I'm slapping the sign. This is the dead centre of Manchester. I'm standing in the centre. Right next to me is a statue of a man named Cobden. I'm a bit shocked. I don't know who Cobden is, I'll be honest with you, but I know that he's not St Anne. Anyway, this square is home to lots of different shops, food, drink places and all of that stuff. It's also home to a little shopping arcade. I've got ulcers on my lips and they're really hurting me today. I'm like talking through you in this VT and they're just hurting. We've got Rolex, we've got Holland & Barrett. We've got the good old Mackey's. Ernest Jones, hola, CC. It's like me. I do need some new sunglasses actually, you know, let's have a look at these. Oh, how much are glasses in? £85. I'm alright, thank you.
You know what you said that was the dead centre of Manchester?
Yes.
On the wall?
Yeah.
Was that referring to all the dead bodies, or was it actually geographical?
No, it's actually the centre of Manchester, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, yeah, it is, yeah.
Right, nice one.
No worries. They were listening to us this whole time. I mean, I'm going to be a little bit more quiet now, as I'm here in St Anne's Arcade. Now, this is a variety of different shops and services, and this, for me, is one of the most unique parts of St Anne's Square. Advanced photo, we've got Ramsden's travel money. Gonna just scan some QR codes. Look at this, life. Life has just becoming like all QR codes and phones, isn't it? ramsdensjewellery.co.uk. I mean, nowadays, you know, I walk outside my road, I've got robots walking down. They even sing bare necessities. It's just ridiculous, I'll be honest with you. £999. Ridiculous. No, not ridiculous, absolutely beautiful. Please sponsor us. There's a hairdressers, not just any hairdressers, an Italian hairdressers. What's out here? Oh, the arcade continues. Dodgy side street. Barton Arcade. I'm going a bit off script now, I'll be honest with you. Look at this. What is all of this? Walk to walk. Well, with that, do you think you know Manchester? I would say that I wish I didn't after this, but I really do. I'm having some fun in Manchester here, and I'm being given some really weird looks.
As part of Pride in Trafford, there's a series of productions that's going to be happening just there at the Waterside Arts. One of them's called BI-TOPIA, and we were lucky enough earlier today to speak to Sam Danson all about it. Welcome, Sam. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good. Now, what is this play that you're bringing to us all about?
Well, it's an amalgamation of my own experiences, along with like research that I've done and other LGBT people that I've spoken to about mental health, their coming out journeys, and how they sort of make sense of society and the world around them. And yeah, it's also come out of me feeling like I needed to watch a show that encouraged me to talk about my issues and the issues generally in society. And I felt like there wasn't enough of that happening. There's a lot of personal tales around, which are great and really help to highlight something, but I really wanted to make a show that talked about the wider issues. And so to do that, I've sort of made this show semi-autobiographical. It's funny in a lot of places, but it's also quite tragic and sad in other places. And I was hoping that that will allow it to connect with a lot of people and encourage people to talk about how I guess ridiculous this world is in a way.
Well, you mentioned there that you've said quite a lot there that there's issues and the wider issues. What specific issues do you feel that you're encountering?
I think that there's a lack of understanding in the world, certainly at the moment, which it just seems to be at a height at the moment with what's happening with trans rights and homophobic attacks and things like that. And I think that generally there's evidence for disproportionate statistics that lean towards LGBT people when it comes to being affected negatively with mental health. And I think that's something that needs to be talked about more and explored more, because that is a huge issue.
So why do you feel so passionate about this yourself then?
So I think that it affected me a lot growing up. It definitely did, in fact. I didn't really confront my sexuality until I was in my mid-20s. I'm only 29 now, but yeah, it took a long time. I was having experiences all throughout my life growing up with men and women, and but then there came a point where it just felt like any experiences with someone of the same gender was something that I just had to push out of myself if I could, and just really try and block that out and hide it, because it felt like at school it felt genuinely like a crime, or it'd be like life wouldn't be worth living. It felt like it didn't fit in with anyone's ideas of the kind of life I should lead as a man, and there was a lot of pressure and shame around it. And I think it made me angry, really, to realize that had caused so many problems, and I know it causes so many problems for other people. It just is so ridiculous and such a shame that I really want to fight for that and really try and change that.
And once people have seen your play and your production, what do you hope they take away from it?
I just want people to be more aware of these issues, talk about themselves, and potentially just like hope that they can think that the perceptions they've got in their head, just to challenge those and know that they're not all actually serving you. Sometimes it's society that's just really messes up, actually, or not even just society, like family or teachers or the government. And we shouldn't just accept every preconception we've got in our head. And I know a lot of people know not to do that, but I think it's worth just highlighting that.
Absolutely. Now, when can we find? Where can we find this? And when can we find this?
So it's on for all 4 nights of the Pride and Trafford Festival at Waterside Arts. So that'll be the 17th till the 20th of May, which is next month.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Sam, and the best of British with it. Some very important points there that I hope people absorb from your play, and just absorb and learn and educate themselves perhaps a little bit more than perhaps what they are at the moment. Thanks so much for your time, Sam.
No worries. Thank you.
Right, Ollie, hand back. Here we go. It's time to head back to Manchester. Thanks everybody for watching this week's episode. Make sure you check another episode out. Make sure you like and subscribe only on Your Manchester.